It is possible to gain admission into university without JAMB wahala. It is possible to get quality education, affordable and accessible education. It is possible to have internationally recognized degrees and professional certificates to secure your great future. Hello. Welcome to Jpts Institute of Science, Management and Technology.
My name is Emma Victory Amarachi, and this is Jpts Ojodubega Center.
I am a mass communication student of Jpts 100 level.
I'm a part-time computer science student and also in 200 level.
I'm a student of Jpts, to be precise, Ojodubega.
Jpts Institute of Science, Management and Technology is a private institution approved by the Federal Ministry of Education and in partnership Global Wealth University, Togo, South American University, and Pan American College, California. We are also approved and accredited by ISO 9001-2015. We are known for quality management. These trademarks are embedded on our certificates. Jpts Institute of Science, Management and Technology is the only school in Nigeria approved by Accreditation Service for International Colleges and Universities, ASIC, in UK. At JPTS, we offer you quality education, affordable education, and accessible education. Take advantage of our scholarship opportunity and be part of over 6 million students who failed the last JAMB. We offer you scholarship to gain admission and acquire an international degree through any of the JPTS centers nationwide. To apply and get a scholarship admission letter in 5 days, please visit www.jptsportal.com. For more inquiries on Jpts Institute of Science, Management and Technology, please call +234 813 273 3378. Enroll into JPTS today. Jpts Institute of Science, Management and Technology, placing you in the system.
A very good day to you wherever you're watching the program, Development Segments. This is a program where we bring citizens of this nation and beyond, those who have contributed to the development of Nigeria and of course the African nation. And when we're talking of development must also taking the roots background, and that is where we are talking about people who really value life and in different capacity. And our guest on this very show today is no another person than a man of high level of integrity, a man of timber and caliber, whose philosophy and ideology has actually been centered on helping mankind, especially the youth and women. Who am I actually talking about? Our guest on the show today is no another person than Professor Christopher IMUMOLE, who is Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor of Global Wealth University, and also the founder of Jpts Institute. And also this is the man, the first Nigerian and the first African to own 3 international universities across the world. He's no any other person than the man I've just introduced. Is going to do proper justice to some of the issues and topics we're going to discuss on this show. In case you are joining us for the first time, quickly go to our website and www.tnntvchannel.com. And of course, you can reach us on all our social media platforms where your contributions will actually be appreciated. Join me in after this time out.
JPTS, Institute of Management, Science and Technology, an accredited tertiary institution of learning. JPTS has international affiliation and the degree certificate is recognized anywhere within Nigeria and abroad. Obtain your bachelor, PGD or master's degree with us. We run weekend programs Saturday and Sunday now in Ore. It means you can earn your BSc, PGD or MSc while working or doing your business. We have courses in management education, physical and health sciences, and engineering. We also run professional courses. Our school fees is very flexible and affordable. And the beautiful thing is the access to student scholarships up to 90% waiver after you pass the scholarship exam. The first 1,000 students to register would be awarded scholarships this next academic session. This scholarship scheme is sponsored and funded by the Onshore and Offshore Oil and Gas Professional Association of Nigeria and brought to you by Global Wealth System and supported by Tunji Rema Foundation. Residents of Akure, Ondo City, Irele, Igbokoda, Okitipupa, Ore, and their environs who are teachers, politicians, civil servants, business and career people, students that are looking for admission can now easily study with us every weekend to earn their BSc, PGD, or master's degree. This program is reliable and authentic. You do not need JAMB to be admitted. Apply with your O-level results, and those with awaiting results can also apply. Graduating students can be mobilized for NYSC. Interested applicants can proceed to JPTS Admission Processing Office, Rema Building, opposite Baba Dada Junction, along Okitipupa Road, Ore, and register for the scholarship and admission entrance exams. Registration is free. The scholarships and admission entrance exam comes up on Saturday, 4th September 2021 by 10 a.m. at Ore. For more inquiries, visit our office or call 080-5522-3858. Again, 080-5522-3858 or 0703-846-0392.
Prof, it's nice having you on this platform today, on this show. It's been a long while that Nigerians have actually been yearning for your coming to this show in order to discuss what actually remains your vision and passion for elevating people, especially Nigerians, youths and women from poverty. Let's get to know some of these philosophies.
For inviting me to this program. And first and foremost, I want to appreciate your crew and your team. And quickly to the purpose why we are here today. My name is Professor Chris IMUMOLE, and as you have introduced me, I'm the Vice Chancellor of Global Wealth University, also the Vice Chancellor of South Amazon University in Costa Rica. I'm equally the President of Jpts and other organizations in the oil and gas, real estate, education, and the rest. Okay, what has actually prompted us to wanting to actually set up organizations in different sphere is largely because when I use the word we, it means that I and a lot of persons that believe in the vision which I propagate, is because we believe so much in the concept of supporting humanity. We have this ideology that everything starts and ends by supporting humanity. No matter how much you acquire in life, no matter how much you have, be it your knowledge, your finances, your time, it's about rendering service to humanity. So even in our business, in our school, our real estate, you always see an atom of support back to the needy, give back to those who do not truly have, genuinely do not truly have to live a good life. When God created man, God created us to develop the world and leave it a better place. And I will always tell people that we will always be remembered for two things: the problems we solved while we are alive, and those we created while we are alive. So it's left for us to decipher what truly we want to be remembered for. So that is one of our policy. And again, I haven't grown from a system whereby we have limited resources to grow. I for one, it was very difficult for me to have my first degree in university, despite the fact that I was pretty brilliant in school, which was difficult, not just because of the bottlenecks in society, also because of some family challenge we had financially. And while I was going through school, I just said to myself that, God, if truly you help us to also have these resources, large part of the resources we're committed to supporting the people out there who cannot afford to make a living. Truly, there are many persons. And, recently, some of the accolades we've had is the initiative that we set up by setting up prisoners who have been in the prison for long. And, one of our little person who worked over there, when I say little, I don't mean that it's little, I mean he's a younger person to us, and called our attention to a societal abnormalities where some persons have been locked up in jail for many years
without trial,
without necessarily committing the offense they have been charged for. Some only have 10,000 bail on them, and they could not afford to pay those fees, or I don't know. So we had to come on board, and we looked around it and see what we can do. Engage lawyers, go through the process. If I actually explain to you the kind of process we actually went through, so to the extent that we had to even, play some politics just to do the right thing. For example, we talk about the rural electrification project. You've seen the case whereby we want to donate transformers and help villages who have never had light for 100 years, help them for free with funds from the organization. And you see same people in the village would oppose to it and say to us that if you want to give us this, you have to pay some youths to do good for them. Ordinarily, if you don't know the passion, if you don't have a passion for that, that alone would piss you off. But because you have the passion, you see that there are so many young persons in those villages who truly need this light. You still go ahead and give the youth money to help them. That's the kind of society we have ourselves. There are some times I want to just grade the roads. We have to go through local government, get to even bribe people. Not that get to give some appreciation to some persons just because you want to help the society. I think, and the reason why we would not get discouraged in doing this is because we understand the passion why we are doing it, and we'll continue to do it.
All right. Looking at Nigeria as of today, a lot of people have of the opinion or belief that we are actually far from where the nation.
Yeah, okay. When you say forefathers, I don't know if those forefathers actually planned. There's something about wish and plan. If they wished that Nigeria would be better, but did they actually plan it? Because most of those forefathers we are talking about, some of them are still in leadership today. There are persons who were leading in 1960 that are still in governance. So they are the forefathers we are calling. So you are in a country where forefathers are still leading. So large part of the problems that we have in Nigeria are basically due to lack of foresight by most of those who truly, some of them truly have the heart. But Nigeria as a country, God blessed us so much that with numbers, we grew faster than any other country. Today we have about 200 plus million. The last census, I don't know, we don't even have a count of. So we have grown to the extent that we did not plan the level of which we have grown in terms of number. So the resources we have as a country, the truth is not enough to meet up with the numbers of people we have. So there's a lot of issues that we are going to be looking around, which one of them is, because you mentioned forefathers, so I'm trying to look at that angle, lack of proper planning to manage the future. China today and other countries already have plans on ground running to cater for 50 years from this point. We have the 2020 agenda, we have so many agendas, but there have never been a sincere and a critical approach to meeting up those plans. Let me give you an example. In Lagos, for example, only 5% of the population have access to potable drinking water. The water corporation is not even working. Everybody has to source to get their borehole privately. And when we talk about basic amenities, what is the plan to even ensure that Nigerians meet up? Basic amenity, water, electricity, that is zero. Housing, in short, we have over 20 million deficits when it comes to housing. The only African country that is able to meet up a little bit is Botswana, that have provided, if we look at 14% of housing for its people. Nigeria is, so when you look at those basic needs in Nigeria, we as a nation have not, because there is no proper foresight plan to accommodate the booming population of the country.
Okay, let's talk about our educational system in Nigeria. And because this say that no nation is developed outside a very scientific development in education. Now, would you say that because you had a background that actually experienced one difficulties or the other, that was why you had this passion towards the education? Or why are you so interested in education?
Yeah, competence. Many Nigerians have the issue of competence. Leaders in Nigeria who are supposed to create this system, many of them who in their own time did not actually push for it, today now blame the youth. Say, oh, most Nigerians are not employable, most youth. That is a fact. But leaving that, let's look at why are they not employable. It's about competence. Many of the curriculum in the universities are outdated. The kind of regulations we have in education are obsoleted. So we need to start looking at how it is being done. Before we venture into having a university, I'll sit on the board of the UK board, ASIC, Education Service for International College and University in UK. And I understand practically how that is being done. And that is one of the push drive that we have to see. Nigerians must begin to enjoy international education via exposure, knowledge, and practice. You see, most of what we have in the Nigerian education system, from the primary to the tertiary institution, is not what we develop Nigeria into the phase we want to become. For example, there is no university in Nigeria that teaches space engineering. Even the normal engineering courses, how many universities in Nigeria are equipped up to date? A country whereby less than, the UNESCO report says that a country should not have less than 15 or 20% of its budget budgeted to education. In Nigeria, we still have less than 2% of our budget to education industry. So we cannot eventually have young Nigerians who will be knowledgeable enough in Nigeria or study in Nigeria, except for few of them who would now have to go out of the system, force themselves to study by using social media and what we have in the internet to learn more. And yes, but likely what we have in Nigeria, it will be difficult for us to produce with what we have Nigerians who can take Nigeria to the next level, except those Nigerians or Nigerians by themselves, what many are doing now, going out of the curriculum to study. Because we now have the social media that is helping Nigerians now have exposure to know what is happening outside. The digital learning system, we now have some Nigerians who are here, who are studying with Harvard, studying with other universities. Nigerian education needs to meet up with what is happening globally for us to be able to have Nigerians, to help Nigerians. Can
we say the youth of Nigeria still have hope in Nigeria today? Or what is the hope, if there are hopes?
To be very realistic, is not even a question, because you go out there, you see Nigerians have lost hope in the governance system of this country. I know many people want to play around it. Many persons are careful so they don't step on people's toes. But we've gotten to a time whereby we need to tell ourselves the truth. And why telling ourselves the truth? Nobody should pick offense from hearing the truth. What we do with the truth is to take it and say, okay, is this the truth? Then how do we make good of the truth and make a better nation for ourselves? Nigerians have largely lose hope in the governance system. Why? Because we have governance, people in government who are not sincere, who would set up policies just for self-benefit alone. In so many other areas, look at election is coming up and we are talking about electronic voting. It's so difficult, and the same government can quickly enact in-era, and you cannot enact electronic voting system. So any policy that would put them at the edge will become a very long-standing policy before enacting. But those that is meant to, so there's a lot of factors that have really caused. Look at many youths today. We talk about the migration of Nigerians out of Nigeria. Even to the extent that some Nigerians who have to cross through the desert, the sea from Libya to Italy, desperation to leave this country. If Canada today would give free visa to Nigeria, I'm telling you, might not have less than 50 people in Nigeria left, because all the Nigerian refugees, that is to tell you that Nigerians are totally out of hope from what, and it's a system whereby you don't believe in what government says. A system whereby government raise policy and I believe that should be solved is sincerity of government and ensuring that implementation of policies is effectively done. We have so many wonderful policies, yes, but how far is the implementation? the truth again is that Nigerian youths have lost confidence, have lost trust and faith in this government. But I believe it can be revived with sincerity.
Well, I wish, are you saying that the loss of hope just began with this government?
No, it's not. It's not. You see, I'm one person that I'm not a partisan person that will say, oh, it's because it's this particular party that is in. No. I'm talking about Nigerians by Nigerians themselves.
Because it's true, since 1999, Nigerians have been saying they want a better Nigeria, even up to date.
Yes,
so
but
we cannot actually pin it to a particular administration of a government or a particular political
not
party.
Since 1999, since the independence of the country, we've not had good leadership system. That is the truth. We're only trying to compare with the worst. You know, bad is still better than worse. That is what we are trying to do. We've not really had, and it's not because of the individual, it's because of the system itself. We have a systemic problem. Once those system is fixed, any individual can walk through it. Even if myself speaking to you today, if I become the president of this country with this part of particular system, I might have little or nothing to do. The first thing that must be fixed is the system. Once the system is fixed, you cannot run a country without a system. Yes, a Cameroonian, a Ghanaian can come to Nigeria and pick a passport in the embassy, go to the Ministry of Education. It's paperwork. We don't have a system at large. So the first thing that must be is not about the people. Even if you bring the best president all over the world, Obama, to rule Nigeria with this system, is going to fail, hopefully.
So what do we need to do at this very, very critical time?
Is to draw up a system. Is to draw up a system, just like running an organization without a system. We don't have statistics. We don't have system. We don't know. We don't have a system in the country. The first thing we must do is to draw up a system. Everything must be clear. Everything must be transparent. Everything must be monitorable. Everything must be. You must have a system that can evaluate what you are doing. We only pick statistics and say we are growing by 17 GDP. Nobody. Those statistics does not work. A country whereby we don't even know the numbers that we are in this country. With Nigerians, we talk about NIM, we talk about BVM, we talk about which number. We are confused. So we must have just one number. In the US, it's about social security number. In Russia, it's about a particular number. In Nigeria, we have about 5 numbers to one person. We don't have a system. We need to start Nigeria system all over again. And the lovely part is this: we have young Nigerians who are very good in drawing up a system for Nigeria. Look at what happened to NICOMSAT. The DG said that the satellite, we don't even have a satellite. The last satellite was expired, and the DG said it's only hanging up there due to grace of God. That tells you how bad the system is. We have to drop a system, a sincere system that can track Nigerians, and that system will help in every aspect, both in security, both in corruption. But nobody wants to do that because once there's a system, you can checkmate everybody. So those in charge might not want to deliberately have it. So until we talk to ourselves and we start tracking the system, even look at civil servants. We don't know what they're. Most of the civil servants in Nigeria are redundant. When you go there, they don't have anything. Well, there's no system to checkmate them. Yet, that is one of the reasons why governors might have justification to even hold them for 10 years and said, I'm not paying.
Okay, is there any political will to actually create a very workable system? But you will answer to that question after this time out. In case you are just joining us, this is the development segment, and our guest on this show has also remained Professor Christopher, who has been open our minds, especially the youths and those in government, to be able to, in order to checkmate them and to do the needful for us to all enjoy the dividends of democracy. After this time out, don't go anywhere.
JPTS, Institute of Management, Science and Technology, an accredited tertiary institution of learning. JPTS has international affiliation and the degree certificate is recognized anywhere within Nigeria and abroad. Obtain your bachelor, PGD or master's degree with us. We run weekend programs Saturday and Sunday now in Ore. It means you can earn your BSc, PGD or MSc while working or doing your business. We have courses in management education, physical and health sciences and engineering. We also run professional courses Our school fees is very flexible and affordable. And the beautiful thing is the access to student scholarships up to 90% waiver after you pass the scholarship exam. The first 1,000 students to register would be awarded scholarships this next academic session. This scholarship scheme is sponsored and funded by the Onshore and Offshore Oil and Gas Professional Association of Nigeria and brought to you by Global Wealth System and supported by Tunji Bremer Foundation. Residents of Akure, Ondo City, Irele, Igbokoda, Okitipupa, Ore and their environs who are teachers, politicians, civil servants, business and career people, students that are looking for admission can now easily study with us every weekend to earn their BSc, PGD or master's degree. This program is reliable and authentic. You do not need JAM to be admitted. Apply with your O-level results, and those with awaiting results can also apply. Graduating students can be mobilized for NYSC. Interested applicants can proceed to JPTS Admission Processing Office, Rema Building, opposite Baba Dada Junction, along Okitipupa Road, Ore, and register for the scholarship and admission entrance exams. Registration is free. The scholarships and admission entrance exam comes up on Saturday, 4th September 2021 by 10 a.m. at Ore. For more inquiries, visit our office or call 080-5522-3858. Again, 080-5522-3858 or 0703-846-0392.
Welcome back. I still remain Professor IMUMOLE Christopher, and he is a man who is highly loaded with information that is capable of taking this generation to the next level. Prof, I asked before we went for the break that is there any political will that can change or can restore the system that is workable in order for us to get out of this mess?
Yeah, they are political will, and large part of them are administrative. You know, it's just to make sure that the ministers who are at the helms of affairs of each ministries start looking at how to digitalize the economy. Digitalization of the economy brings the system I talk about. Yeah, even the president from his phone can know what is happening in the defense ministry. From his phone can know what is happening can have reports, daily report. Governors can have daily reports of what is happening in all of the arms of affairs. You know, the world has largely changed. We cannot run a nation again in analog when the whole world is digitalized. So one of the best way to run this economy is to digitalize the economy. Believe me, once every facet of Nigerian economy is digitalized, even those who want to will be very, very careful, because even the system by itself would not. Of course, some people might want to beat the system, but at least you would have been able to reduce corruption to about 80%. In a system, for example, in Nigeria, we have over 40 million youths unemployed and underemployed in this country. You know, and there are so many youths who have that brain to make it work. Let me tell you this: we now have a system whereby many persons who are at times of affair do not understand what digitalization means. They fight against it. Digitalization by itself can produce another 15 million jobs for the whole nation.
Independently?
Yes, without government. When I hear government say we're going to provide 1 million jobs, I laugh. What is 1 million jobs? We're talking about a country with hundreds of millions of people, 40 million unemployed, over that number, and you're going to provide 1 million jobs. Government should not be in the business of running business. Just create that enabling environment. So they should also try as much as possible. That is one of the things we are looking at. To try as much as possible, remove monopoly from areas of government that the people need, areas of business that is needed to excel. For example, let's look at power and electricity. The regulation in power is so overbearing that by itself that cannot bring electricity to the nation. How do you so much regulate generation of power and distribution of power in a country where there is no power? You should liberalize that sector, allow more small players come into don't make it a business. You know, the power sector in Nigeria have been monetized by some few people in Nigeria. Many of us know them. That is the major problem. Why? There's no power. If you can do that, believe me, we'll run a 24 hours country.
Just like telecommunication organizations.
Yeah. So we're going to run a 24 hours country. You go to Lometogo, go to Ghana, you see that even by 2 a.m. in the night, you can still buy food, you can still use their fast food. Nigerians cannot even have 2 jobs. You go abroad, people have 2 jobs. Digitalization of economy would make that happen. By itself, just create that enabled environment. That is the work of government. Government needs to be sincere about some of these things. So their will, the government by itself already have that political will to make it happen administratively. State government, local government, it's not a function of the president alone. It runs down from the top down to the bottom. We've had some very innovative local government chairman in Lagos, like in First Takamord of I met the guy, and they're already picking up tax by electronic means. You know, you have some even policing by itself can be digitalized. You can get people's offense recorded computerly. Look at what's happening in Dubai. See, there is no need for us to start something new. Just copy what they are doing over there. Look at how it's going to fit into our culture. Then implement it. That is all. Even police itself is not digitalized. How many police stations in Nigeria have a computer set? The other day we had to trace some police officer how to use the computer. They don't have. So if every sector in Nigeria, from agriculture to education to security to is digitalized, that alone will create a system that can be integrated together to form a Nigeria systemic program that will be used to monitor everything that happens. We don't know what is happening. For example, as a Nigerian, we have just go online, you're going to see a lot of security issues. The major problem with security is because of lack of digitalization of the economy too, where a bandit can come out of nowhere, fly into the bush, nobody sees him. We are still running this country the way it's been run in the medieval era. We are now in the digital era. Nigerians should be thinking about going to space. Our education system cannot even afford anybody to think about going to space. If a Nigerian will go to space, believe me, that Nigerian is not trained in Nigeria. So we black are good, but we are only better when we operate in an economy not created by Nigerians. So when you fly out of the country, go to England, US, Switzerland, you see your potential. But here in Nigeria, we are subjected because we have a non-digitalized economy. We have a very harsh economy, and we have an economy that makes everybody a cannibal. You know, in a system where I'm trying to touch so many things at a very short time. Yeah, a system whereby 90% of resources is given to 5% of people, while 5% of resources is shared among 90% of the population. That automatically creates a carnivorous environment. Blacks, Nigeria, by the way, are not wicked. We are only subject to wickedness because of lack of resources. So it makes us survive. It makes us strive. Automatically brings, yes. I told some people, I said, if you had ever rare fish or in fish pond, and you starve those fish by not giving them fish feeds, they begin to eat themselves. So we are eating ourselves. Many are eating themselves through betrayal, hatred, and the rest of it because we have bad people, bad governance system. Until we begin to correct that, and that largely, like I said, can be corrected by having a purely and truly digital economy in every facet. All right, so let's talk about youth participation in politics. Okay. This is 21st century, and we are talking about not too young to roll. And of course, it's no longer a news that a lot of young people are participating, but a lot of people are actually saying it's not enough. What is your take on this? My take on this is that I think the youth, I'm also one of them, the youth, many need to also learn from the old persons in politics. There are so many attributes that the old persons in politics have that the youth need to learn. One of them is consistency, perseverance, principled. You cannot win in politics if you don't have some basic attributes. Okay, look at our president. He lost. How many times have he lost? He lost as a president before he eventually. How many youths will be able to continue? So there's some value system we as young ones must have before we can actually win in politics. And perseverance. Yes, consistency in politics. Knowing that if you are pushing and you might not actually get there, but keep pushing. It's just the same as business. So The youth need to, and the youth must not. There's this thing I don't want the youth to think, which many of the youth are thinking, that power will be handed over to them. No. Power will never be handed over to anyone. You have to fight, not physical fight. Push
intellectual.
Yes, and get power to yourselves. What is happening in Nigeria is more like a generational transfer, which has not happened. Like 2 generations before us are still the one in. Sure, the next generation after them have not actually taken over. We are like the 3rd generation. Those in the 40s, 50s, and yes, late, they are the 3rd generation, and they've not even taken from the first, so that for us to achieve that generational transfer, so as to enable us to come on board with the ideology of because we are the set that understand the digitalization of the economy. We are the persons that understand how to work smartly. Nigeria is still working hard work. You don't achieve success now in today's era through hard work, but through smart work. Every country in the world, the Canada, the US, the Australia, the England, they are now working smartly. And the only way to achieve smart education, we have smart agriculture, we have smart fashion, we have smart industries, is through digital economy. And if you don't allow the youth to use the knowledge they have in digital economy, you will see so many emergence of criminals like the Yahoo boys and the rest of them. You need to open up the economy, involve the youth. That is in the aspect of workforce. But when it comes to politics, the youth need to purposefully come together. They need to have what those things I've mentioned, and they need to just be persistent till the end. In the beginning of the election, you're going to see a lot of young ones line up. We are contesting. But when it gets to the middle of the race, many of them would have fizzled out. Why? Because they lack some of this value. And the older politicians understand this, so they laugh. And one of their major laughs, I met someone who said, "Are you sure the youth are ready? Are you sure they actually know politics?" Politics by themselves is a game, is something you need to also study. And loyalty is also key in politics. So there are so many things that the youth needs to have.
So do you see yourself, Prof, in that space of providing the leadership at the presidency?
Of course I do. If there is one youth in Nigeria that can be called upon to, that can be vetted, checked his background to see his proficiency and prominence and competence in that field, I think I should be the one, because number one, I've been able to build business from the scratch to a multi-billion organization. Number two, I've been in the business of helping humanity for 15 years from now, not even because of politics. It's a heart that we've been doing. We've done electrical projects, we've done rural empowerment to farmers, women, widows, a lot of thousands of projects. In 2019, we distributed millions officially we heard about Davido giving 250 million. Everybody, wow, it's a very good thing, we love it. But there are people like us who have given times 5 of that funds in a project to Nigerians, and yet there was no so much noise on either personal funds by people, by ourselves. So we've been doing this by antecedent. So if there's one youth who truly have been doing this in Nigeria, and I think I'm the one. And for example, we own an organization today that has over 700 staff, and the organization started from the scratch, and it has built up to this point. So by competence, by tenacity, by knowledge, and of recent, we broke a record by having to become the first Africa to own 3 accredited universities across the globe. I'm also a member of the World Presidential Club for the past 5 years, advising global presidents. I've received United Nations awards for humanitarian. I've been everywhere of this country. I'm one of the youth in Nigeria who have traveled to all the states in Nigeria. In Ekiti, I've been to all the 16 local governments. In Adamawa, I've been to everywhere. Not because of politics, because of help for the people for the past 15 years. So if there's one person who understands critically how the security challenge can be overcome, who understand how the youth can realize their passion and their gift, how the youth can be motivated to become the best in the world, who understand how Nigerians will, few years from now, start thinking not just how to eat, but how to go to space, who understand digital for the growth of the people. I understand virtually all the economy. I also own business in many of this economy. I've grown from the scratch of the economy. I have passion for the people, and if there's one person who the youth will look upon at this time, I'm the one.
All right. Let's look at 2023, because though our campaign has not actually started and we understand that fact, but if if things continue the way it is today, do you think youths are actually ready to queue behind their fellow youths?
Yes, because the youths are ready. Because we've gotten to a point whereby everybody's tired, and that is one of the things that is pushing us out too. And we are not coming out just for ourselves alone. You know, we started a movement called Nigerians for Sustainability and Reliability, and that movement is to identify youths all over the country who are ready to also position themselves for politics, train them, support them financially, put them on board. You know, look at even political parties. For you to get a ticket sometimes can be so expensive that some youths may not be able to afford it. Though they have the passion, they have the zeal. So what we are doing is a lot of things. We are looking around all these bottlenecks and trying to build great solutions, not just for Professor Chris alone, for many youths out there who dream to become a governor, who dream to become a senator, who dream to hold political positions, but yet are impeded due to some of these factors. Come together. There must be a deliberate effort. The youth will not queue. Somebody must lead that queue. That is what we are trying to do. We will conscientize them because we know they are already tired. They will queue because they now have a hope of someone who has been raised to make that happen.
Can you take over from President Muhammadu Buhari?
Of course, we are going to take over from him by the grace of God.
How optimistic are you? Because you're speaking with supreme confidence that it's going to be a lollipop.
It's not going to be a lollipop. It's even beyond the electoral process. The work ahead is great because there have been so many damage in the country that a lot of work needs to go into the Nigerian architectural design to make sure that we get there. I am going to take over from President Muhammadu Buhari because I understand what the youth needs. I understand that for the first time in Nigeria, I'm going to gather 50 million votes and I'm going to become the president. I understand the tactics that the political players want to use when it comes to the voters' electoral processes. I understand the mindset of the youth, and I have been in this for the past 15 years because I've been understudying the government. And see, we live in an era today whereby nobody can underestimate the strength of those who have been pushed to the wall. That is what we have. And we can no longer leave the future of the Nigerian youth to the hands of this one. Can you imagine what's going to happen 5 years from now if Nigeria continues in this way? So a lot of people are tired. So what the Nigerian youth is actually looking for is a serious young person who have that mind, who have that knowledge, who understand how to destroy those who have eaten up the future of this country. It's not just the president, it's not the governor. There are few people who have been so corrupt, who have eaten up this country, and so many of them are even richer than this country. So many of them are political gladiators who sponsor politicians, and when you go through them and become a political leader, you cannot stop them. That is why we are not going through that line. We are going through the line of the masses, and we are going to galvanize them. We are going to lead that revolution, not a revolution to cause war, but a mental shift.
What political party would you look out for?
We are going to keep that information for now until when the right time comes, we'll be sharing it.
All right. I want to wish you a very good luck on that. Your great vision and, of course, aspiration towards becoming the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Before I let go of you finally, I know a lot of youth are watching you now, and many of them are in the state of coma where many of them are actually confused on what to do because you started from the scratch. And here you are today, moving the world economy, and you've joined the movers and shakers of world economy. What message significantly do you have for Nigerian youths?
Okay, one of the messages I have for the youth in Nigeria is that Nigerian youth are one of the strongest persons in the world. Before the China started traveling all over the world, the Nigerians have been traveling, the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Hausas. We've been everywhere. Nigerians are one of the strongest real people all over the world. The only challenge we have is the government. But let me say this to you. We can all make it without the government we have today by being deliberate about what we want to do, by understanding that success do not happen just like that. You have to take your time to work it out, get it out, and achieve the kind of success you want to achieve. For your Nigerian youth, I say to you, let's keep moving, let's keep fighting. We shall surmount and win together.
I can see confidence in you. I can see prudency. I can say, very, very bright, with honesty, that you are actually determined to take over from President Muhammadu Buhari. But I want to tell you that it's not gonna, it's not going to be easy.
Of course.
Interesting. And your university, the Global Wealth University, many will want to have the full knowledge about Global Wealth University. Do you have a campus now in Nigeria? On how are they actually running? And how can Nigerians also pass or be admitted to the university?
Okay, because like I said about digitalization and economy, I believe so much in digitalization, and I believe so much in accessibility of education. So one of the things we've done is the South Amazon University in Costa Rica, the South American University in the US, the Pan American College in California, the Global Wealth University in Togo. All these universities have been integrated together so that Nigerians anywhere they are can have access to the universities through digital learning system. So the world has changed. It's no longer about bricks and mortar. You don't need to just go to a class and start writing. Things have changed. Today, look at what's happening in the north. Because of the insecurity, many schools have been shut down. Why can't the government introduce digital learning system, small cluster learning system, bring about volunteers, teachers to get, because even if the economy is down, education should not go down. Because if it does happen, you're going to suffer a loss in 10 years, 15 years from now, when those particular children who suffered loss become the leader. So we must not, through digitalization, we can still run the economy by not having the people wait for a safe environment to happen. So for the Global Wealth University and other university, you can access it through the website, and we have mini campuses, we have affiliations with polytechnics, colleges of education in Nigeria. We have all over, as we speak now, we have about 200 study centers all over the world where you can have access to physical classes, online classes, and then you can get your degrees without the hustle of going through the JAM double standard system, the IJMB and all those. This is the only country where those things happen. In the US, understanding that education is a basic necessity. You don't create double bottlenecks. Okay, all the double bottlenecks that Nigeria have created has improved the educational system here. So that is the problem. So if it is not, the major problem with education is corruption. The major problem is malpractice. Solve it and get it out, not trying to create double. When you create double and double, what you do is this: you make people spend more for corruption. That is what you have done.
All right, I want to shed more light on the similarity or the synergy you have with Global Wealth University and Jpts, because a lot of people are actually convinced out there. They want to have the full knowledge on which one should they go, in as much as coming from the same umbrella.
Yeah, it depends. If you once you get admitted through Jpts, you have access to all the universities.
Interesting.
So once you are, Jpts is more like the umbrella body that houses all of them. So once you get admitted to Jpts, you have access to all the universities, and even some of the partner universities. Even in Jpts, you can get a professional certificate from Harvard, because we have a third-party collaboration with Harvard, where students can take their professional trainings online through the EDS portal and get certification. You can see, how would a Nigerian in Nigeria ever think of getting certificate from one of the best universities in the world? Yes, and you don't need to pay those millions. It is affordable. We are one of the very few schools in the world that run purely on scholarship. Most of our universities are on scholarship. In Togo, or in the universities in America, where schools are meant to pay over $10,000, our schools students pay less than 5% of what is obtainable. Why are we doing this? Because we understand that education should be a basic necessity. A man that is not well educated cannot be fully formed. Hence, such person may not have the opportunity to contribute fully to economic development. So we've made education cheap, affordable, accessible to Nigerians and to the world at large.
Professor Chris IMUMOLE, I must say thank you for coming on this platform today to share your thoughts and, of course, one of these visions that Nigeria has actually been waiting for. This is where we're going to draw the curtain on this very episode today. And I know you've been blessed through these monumental insights that has actually been unleashed through the world today through a very profound professor of high repute, Professor Chris. Still, we come with another very respected citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the next show. I remain your host, Shehu Akinde, and bye for now.
I don't know how you did this in 50 years. You look at history. Who does this? Show me anybody else that has done this in 50 years. I'm waiting. Show them to me. This wasn't done by money. Money doesn't produce visions. Visions produce money. You've had leadership over here that were visionaries. Great visionaries, and their vision was more about the people than the money, because you can't accomplish this in 50 years without loving your people first, because the people are the ones that's benefiting from this. Look at your health care, look at your road system, look at your highway system, look at your airports. Who does this in 50 years? But who benefits? You're going to care about those people. It's something to be learned about what's been done over here that could be duplicated in the world, because it's people with this much money. You just don't have people with this much love for their people.